Hello, mini editors. I'm Talia, and this is the Mini Edit, where small spaces have big meaning. On today's show, we're going to be doing a room inspired by the beautiful color red. Hint, hint, my outfit. We are falling in love all over again on this show today. Red falls within the warm color spectrum on the color wheel. It is bold, vibrant, and hot color. It has nations and meanings. On one hand, red can be passionate, loving, and energetic, and on the other hand, it communicates danger, caution, and alertness, and many things. But a typical theme is attention grabbing regardless of its usage. Red always stands out in whatever context it shows up in. Whatever it's a red rose, red stop sign, or red outfit, it's sure to be a showstopper. I am so inspired. I think it's time for us to do our mini edits. Let's go. We're going to need some red wrapping paper, a pair of scissors found at our local Dollar Tree, a handful of mini clamps also found at our local Dollar Tree, some clear tape, tacky glue, also found at the local Dollar Tree, an X-Acto knife, your choice of measuring a straight edge. I chose to use a ruler or a measuring board, just whichever one works best for what I'm doing. You would also need a sanding block and hinges, because we want our board to be stored easily and we might want to move it around. So portability is a must. I brought two different kinds from the local Hobby Lobby, but you choose the one that works best for you. And that will be everything we will need to make our portable set. This we actually will be using a little later on in our project. So we're going to put that to the side. We're going to need our model. When we build our room, we're going to build our room according to our model. Let's get started. Okay, so before we cover our walls, I just wanted to let you guys know that this piece of black poster board is going to act as our floor. I've already took the liberty and began to cover my floor with peel and stick paper. I would have opted for a darker color peel and stick paper, because in our reference photos shown here, one of the floors is a dark color floor, and I really like that. But since we're using a different color red in our room and not the one in our inspiration room, it should work with the color red that we've chosen for our room. So there it is. You cover your floorboard with the peel and stick paper, and that's what. As you can see here, I have both of my boards together, my whiteboard and my blackboard together. I'm going to make them even, make sure that they are even together, and then I'm going to take my hinge and I'm going to place my hinge on the board. Now, the hinge I found works better this way on the outside of the board, because we want to be able to flip our board open and we want to be able to close it. Well, in order for us to be able to do it, we have to put our hinge piece on the outside, not on the inside. If we put it on the inside, then it'll create a separation between our boards. We don't want a separation, even though that works. If it works for you, you can actually, that is an option. You can do it that way. You can put it this way if you can get that to work, but I'm not going to do it that way. I think it works better like this. Putting the two boards together, placing this on top, making sure that the boards are flush, and we are actually going to glue this down with the tacky glue. So let me go and do that, and I'll be. So I've taken two of my poster boards, a white one and a black one, and I've combined them with the hinges. I use the longer hinges to combine the two boards on both ends of the poster board because I want to be able to use this again for other projects. And then depending on the sturdiness of the hinges, I might add another hinge in the middle. I don't know. I've also taken the liberty to cover my board with contact paper found at the local Dollar Tree. I only covered the front part of the board and I left this edge blank because our counters are going to fill that space. We're going to also put, I will also be putting another wall right there. But I'm trying to decide if I want to attach it or do I want to put a hinge on it. And if I put a hinge on it, how do I want to put the hinge? Because it's also going to have a door right here on the side of the cabinet. I already kind of have it cut out. But there's going to be the refrigerator here, another cabinet space. Let me put up our inspiration photo. And if you see in this photo, you see counter space all across there, and you see cabinets at the top. So we have plenty of space for all of that. And then we're going to have our island in the middle. So that's where we're going to go. And we didn't really need this covered. So let me go and attach this last piece. Here, this side wall here, I've chosen to use duct tape to do that. I use regular beige duct tape, taped it on the back, and now we have our side wall. I also covered it with contact paper. I chose to go with this for now. It wasn't the color that I was going to go with, but our marble wallpaper has not arrived. Okay, so now we have cut out the opening to our window door. And now we can open our door and close it. How nice is that? I've also took the liberty to add the wallpaper. This was, again, not the choice of wallpaper I would have chosen for this project, but it was what I had on hand. And I've covered this wall, and I've also attached it with a piece of tape on the back. But this is our door, and we're going to add some glass. We're going to see what I'll see what I have in my studio for glass, and we're going to add us a door. Now we're going to work on our cabinets. So I forgot to show you this. I almost forgot to show you this little piece in this seam right here is a piece of duct tape, and I decided to attach that board with a piece of duct tape instead of glue because I might want to detach it or I might want to change my portable board. So yeah, and there's a little tiny bit of a gap right there, so we'll be fixing that with molding because we're gonna do like an interchangeable wall. I picked this wallpaper. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Bobby from next door. Hi, Bobby.
Hi. Hi.
Talia's not ready. She's not expecting you till later.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to wait here. I'm gonna have to wait here until she comes.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to wait here because we're right in the middle of a mini edit. And by the way, Bobby, you look really nice. Look at this outfit. Very nice.
Thanks.
It's actually the color that we're using in our mini edit.
Oh.
You look great.
Thanks.
All right, Bobby. Well, I'll let Talia know that you came by. Was there anything in particular you wanted?
Yeah, I just want a little drink by.
Okay, well, we don't have anything on hand, but yeah, we'll see you later. Okay, so I just wanted to show you where I was with the cabinets. I've already made some cuts. This is our cabinets. I have it being, I'm holding it together with a piece of tape. And I've done this when I realized that a 3 centimeter cabinet, a 3 inches out with the cabinets work better for the space. Then I also cut a piece because I wanted a corner cabinet, and then this is going to come in there, and this piece is going to come in and cover there, so we can have our corner piece. This little bit right here is going to get cut off. So again, we'll take these pieces. I'll glue them. Glue in my corner piece. Oops. Glue in my corner piece to the long piece that goes there. And I wanted this to be a portable wall, but in order for it to be portable, I wouldn't be able to glue this. And I really do want cabinets. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue it in so that it can look nice. And then also, I'm going to cover this. You don't have, if I was you, I wouldn't cover the back because you're not going to see it. But the tops around the sides, everywhere you're going to see it, I will cover it. And this is, again, this isn't attached. And this is just the back piece that goes there. And then we're creating the corner piece that goes there. So that's where we are with the cabinets. And then this one, I did go ahead on and cut the front of this off. And I might make that a cabinet, a workable cabinet, where she can actually put stuff in there. So I'm just still trying to decide how I want to do that. And that's where I am with the upper cabinets. Let me put those together. I'm going to go and put everything together and wrap everything, and I'll be back. Okay, so I just wanted to show you all real quick that I do have the gift box. I used the gift box for the bottom. It wasn't my plan to use the gift box for the bottom cabinet, but I just wanted to show you this real quick. This is what I used for that. And this is just a smaller one. And I was thinking of maybe putting 2 on this upper cabinet. Okay, so this is our stove. These are the pieces that I have for the stove. I'm going to be using tacky glue. My favorite tape, it's just a basic tape that I get from the Dollar Tree. It's like a tan, and I just like it because no matter how I could stick it, unstick it, and it just continues to just keep working. So I like it. You know, it's perfect for when you don't have that extra hand. So I got my sanding block. I got my 2 pieces. This is how I would like for this to go. This piece goes here. Okay. And it's going to go in between. I like it. You know, it's perfect for when you don't have that extra hand. So I got my sanding block. I got my 2 pieces. This is how I would like for this to go. This piece goes here. Okay. And it's going to go in between the it's going to go in between this counter and this counter. And I would like for the front piece, which is this piece, to be the same length as the one in the back. But the 2 side pieces are going to be the same length. So I'm going to go sand these down. And plus, another thing too is I do not want my back to be this high. I probably want to go with maybe about 4 inches. So I'm going to cut this down. Okay, so the piece that I'm using measures is coming in at about 10 inches, and I want to shave off about, let me see, let me just measure that again. I want to, okay, and now I put glue on that front piece, and now I'm gonna tape it. I'm gonna tape this down. Okay. And the tape, I'm gonna be honest with you, depending on what product, what material you're using, whether it's the contact paper or, I mean, with the contact paper, I would prefer that for me, my preference, I like to just glue it and then tape it down. I mean, rather than tape it down, I'd rather glue it and just wait for it to dry, because you don't want those pieces to show up in your contact paper. So, but with the wrapping paper, I don't have that problem. I can just wrap it. Okay. So I do have a slight dilemma. I don't have enough wrapping paper. I only have a few pieces here. Also, I kind of wanted a stove with a window. So I'm gonna cut out a window to the stove using another one of the gift wrapping boxes. So let's do it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna use the smaller box as a guide. It also comes with this stuff on the inside. I keep all of that because I mean everything can be used, right? You want to get your whole $1.25 or your whole $1.50 out of the item that you buy, right? I use it for everything. Trim, if something didn't look right, I need to cover it. Oh yeah, I use it for everything. So yeah. So for this, it's still gluing. I want to cut it before I cover it. But I'm not going to be able to cover the whole thing, and plus I also want to be able to keep the black element that I have going on with the wallpaper. I kind of want to implement that in the room. So let's pop another piece on that back. And since I already have a piece already cut out for the top, I'm going to use this piece as the guide for the base. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go cut that out and I'll be right back. Cut out my front window to the stove. I've also added the bottom to it. I had to add two pieces together because I didn't have a piece large enough to cover that space. And then I've also cut out the piece that's going to go on the door. It also peels. I'll peel that. It peels. So it's going to be a clean finish on that. But I have this little piece of paper. And I want to use this for that. But I don't know. Let's try to figure this out. One thing I like to do is when I have a piece of paper like this, I like to give myself a straight edge. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you're going to choose to work with wrapping paper, you have to be patient, because trying to create like those clean edges and different things like that is going to be difficult with wrapping paper. And I'm just being honest with you. To help me make this sturdy, I have a piece of colorful paper. This paper comes in pink, green, blue, and it's like basically pastel colors, and it's really like sturdy. Like it gives, it's more sturdier than this. So to help give me an edge and to create an edge, I'm gonna use this as a way to help make this sturdy. And I really don't want to use this piece because it's so crinkly, but it's all that I have, and I at the moment cannot go and get more. So we're gonna just cut this down to where we need it. Okay. On the back. Let's check. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut the edge of this off. I'm just gonna make one full piece. Wrap that back and fold it down. Because now you can kind of see it coming together. Let's move this out. So I have completed the stove. I think that's all I'm going to add to it. As you can see, I put a little dial here for numbers, well, a screen here for numbers, a little knob there. I got the knobs on here. I wanted to add some gold because gold is our accent for our kitchen. So I wanted to add that in. I put a little cover here for the drawer, and I also framed out the oven door. And then I've also, as you can see, I added some, well, let me not jump the gun, but I added some feet to the bottom of the stove, and I thought that that made it look pretty nice. It elevated it even more. So again, I didn't want to cover the whole stove red because I kind of wanted to pull in some of the black from the wallpaper, even though our inspiration photo has the marble that I ordered just didn't work for this project. So I went with this wallpaper and it works fine. So that's the reason why I kept the black for this. And then I'm thinking about doing a little something to this just to make it shiny. So I'm still trying to figure that out.